Okay, you guys, we are back with another video. In this video, we're going to talk about reasons why I believe Halle will never go back to DDG. Now, make no mistakes. Pretty girls, they're always falling prey to narcissistic, toxic men. However, in this case, I'm going to have to say Halle has learned her lesson and she is counting her blessing. I don't know if you guys are taking notes or if you guys are keeping up with the videos, but like Halle, she's counting her blessing and she does so consciously on a daily basis. And as such, she's not going to go back to him. Take my word for it. She's not going to go back to that man for no reason whatsoever. No. Here's why I believe Halle will not go back to DDG. If you guys have read the court documents, you guys would see how just the bad state that she was in mentally when she was with child. She rarely enjoyed her pregnancy, and that is not something that anyone should take away from a woman, especially with their first pregnancy, and DDG took it from her, and he is the father of the child. And his narcissism did not stop there. After she gave birth, he was suffocating this girl. He was stifling this girl. The relationship got extremely toxic, but Halle tried to make it work because when she got pregnant, it was at the time when the internet was saying DDG got her pregnant to trap her because her career was booming. It was growing. She was just up and rising. And she realized that a lot of what the internet has said about DDG has proven to be factual. She was warned about him. She never listened. She went ahead and she followed her heart. But sometimes, you know how they say, the heart is weak and the head is strong. And that's why you should lead with your head and not your heart. That is what happened. She led with her heart. Something beautiful came out of it. Her son, very beautiful, but she's not going to go back to him because after she went through all the meltdown during her pregnancy, she tried to make it work to save face for herself and also him and her son, most importantly, and after numerous sacrifices, it still did not work. And not only that, remember that DDG really actually tried to ruin her because after she was on vacation with her sister and after she said to him, you know, it's done, it's over, let's move on. And that was all the way back in 2024, October of 2024. Summer of this year, I think it was in St. Lucia. She was with her sister on vacation and DDG called her and he was verbally, assaulting her, accusing her of being with Brent Fayez, a rumor that the internet made up. And she was like, no, I'm not with that guy. And no, I would never have our son halo around another man. She realized that at that point, DDG was out of control and there was only one thing she could have done to get that man in control, and that was to include the law. Because remember, DDG was showing up at her house when she wasn't there, searching her bed, sending images of her. Can you imagine? The place where you lay your head, the man, this crazy man who is now your stalker, is taking pictures of your bed, asking you why your bed is like that. It couldn't be that you woke up with just enough time to get yourself through the door and you had no time to make your bed, so you had to be up and out of there. He had to assume the worst. You had someone in your bed, even though their relationship had ended. And not only did he do that, after she got the restraining order to set boundaries, because that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to set boundaries. After she did that, he went for her career. And that's the ultimate no-no, because Halle's career is not just her career. It's her passion. It's her talent. It's what she loves. It's what she enjoys. She's so happy when she's on the stage. She comes alive. And DG bypassed everything and he went directly for her career. And after he went for career, you know what else he did in the same stance? He tried to lift stain and scorn upon her image and her reputation. So it meant that even if her career would survive, people would look at her and always be looking at her in the corner of their eyes when he said that she's psychologically unwell. And can you imagine a lawyer putting that in a court document without any medical professional signing off on it? Can you imagine? He is saying she's psychologically unwell, and he's not providing any information to back up his statement. That is from his perspective. It's not postpartum. He could have used postpartum. He could have said postpartum depression is getting the best of her. And he didn't. He consciously said psychologically unwell, and his attorney did not coach him to say, I think you should say postpartum depression, because he wanted to ruin her, and he wanted to ruin her for good. But why did she decide that she wanted to agree with him and drop the case? Because it was taken from her pocket. It was taken from her time, even though she wasn't, going to court. The attorney would do the presentation and everything, but it was still, that's not something that anyone wants to deal with. You want to cut out anything that's toxic, anything that's mentally draining, and just do what you know you have to do. Because she knows that at the end of the court battle, she would still have to co-parent with him. Why not cut to the chase and get to co-parenting? Save yourself some money, save myself some money. You move on with your life and I'll move on with mine. But she's not going to go back to him. She's not going to go back to him. He has put his hands on her. And when that wasn't enough, he came for her image. He came for her likeness. He came for her career. He came for her reputation. And even if she starts to see him on the low, when she remembers how DJ Academics was calling her mentally unwell, and everyone else in that streamer circle was calling her mentally unwell, she's not going to chance that for nothing else, because she's going to tell herself that she has escaped this time around. What if next time he has more stuff on her? She's never going to trust him. He exposed private conversations between them. He exposed private conversations between them. And when you expose someone's trust like that, when you betray someone's trust like that, they'll never trust you again. She will never trust him. No matter how they might be on good terms, no matter how she may say to him, okay, we're on good terms, even if we should see both of them out there with their son just co-parenting and she's smiling, she will never trust him. She will always be looking at him in the corner of her eyes, and she's not going to put soap on her face around him. She's not going to put soap on her face around him. It's going to give her panic attacks and anxiety. And someone may say, put soap on her face around him? How do you come up with that? Don't you know that is why a lot of women leave relationship after they get abused? Because when they put the soap on their face, it's like they're temporarily blind. And if the man is in the house with them, they don't know what the man is up to, because the man has hurt them before. They don't trust putting soap on their face around that man ever again. And when many women realize that every time they put soap on their face around their partner after their partner have abused them, that is what pushes them to leave the relationship or the marriage, because they realize that every time they put soap on their face around that man, it feels as though they're out of breath. They are in a state of delirium, actually. And that is what oftentimes forces a lot of women to leave relationships, because they realize they have anxiety, they have panic attacks, and they're opening their eyes with the soap to see, oh, I heard him close to the bathroom. Is he coming? So she won't be able to put soap on her face around him. And that is why she will never go back to that man. Trust and believe. She will never go back to DDG. Even if she was thinking about it, when she factors in everything, she would never trust him ever again. Never. So it's officially done and over with. And if I'm wrong, I don't think I'm wrong, so I'm not going to say it. I don't think I'm wrong, so I'm not even going to say if I'm wrong. And to any woman who has been in an abusive relationship, tell me if I'm lying. Tell me that you were able to trust your man with soap on your face. I know. I think I read too much sometimes. Sometimes I read too much literature, but women who care about their health and women who are in tune to nature, they will stay in a relationship that is abusive, but when they're out and they're done, and they'll be the most forgiving person. But what they're going to look at is the time that individual has robbed them of their peace, their happiness, and their serenity. It's 2025, more women are choosing to be single. And they're saying that we're in the last days, and the Bible is telling us in the last days as women, we should not marry. And if you're going to marry, do not marry foolishly, because the Bible tells us that men are going to be lovers of themselves and money, and men are just going to be evil in the last days. And women should be smarter, wiser, and learn to protect themselves. And I think Halle is spiritual. She'll have some sense of that. And besides that, look at the man she has. Like, just imagine giving up that fine ass, gorgeous man for DDG. When you look at Halle and Scott Bridgway, you see a long and lasting love. You see two coming together as one. You see, like, they look like a fairy tale, happy ending forever. When you look at DDG and Halle, you see it's as though they should just be friends, nothing more, you know? So I don't think she's going to give up that fine ass man who's in music, someone who understands her world, the synergy between both of them. Just imagine the chemistry. The chemistry is there. You can see it. You can see it in every photo. And for a new relationship, for us to see a photo, and the internet is on the same accord with every time we see photos of them, we say they look like they belong together. They just look like that fairy tale, that happily ever after. And it's not something that we see every day. It's not. This is not something we see every day. Looking at a picture of two people like that, and it's not just picture perfect. It's just the energy that you get looking at both of them. Both of them looks as though they're vibrating on the same frequency. They look as though they're God-fearing. They're in tune to humanity. They're in tune to nature. They love peace. They love music. And they just love everything that's beautiful about life. When you look at Halle and Scott Bridgway, that's what you get. So I don't think she's ever going to go back to DDG. She is a nice person, so we'll see her being cordial towards him as time passes, but don't confuse it for being together. They may become best friends, and that would be good for Halo. It would be good if they become best friends for Halo, and it would be good if, that's it. And she set the boundaries, and we can see them, and we can see that they're healthy boundaries, and he respects her boundaries and she respects his. It would be really good to see them as best friends, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But don't be fooled. She's not going to go back to him after realizing how peaceful life is. It's like the heavens are singing like, ah. Can you imagine? Leaving the angels singing and the birds chirping for misery, ganja smoking. She's not going to do that. She has found the light. She's not going to do that, okay? But leave your comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And come on, give your girl some sugar. That means thumbs up this video. And we're going to talk some more in the comment section. Peace.